Hey guys, this is Persia back to another episode of Junior Chef TV. Today we're going to be making French macaroons. Now you're probably thinking, you can't make it, you're 11, half the pastry chefs don't know how to make macaroons. But look at it. It has feet, it has everything, and it actually worked. Guys, I found so many good tips when I went to a 4-hour macaroon class, and this is going to work. It worked for me, so I hope it works for you guys. Just keep watching to learn how to make these yummy macaroons. So this is just the macaron recipe, but the chocolate ganache will come later. What you're going to need in this bowl, and I've mixed 150 grams of almond meal and 150 grams of icing sugar. It's sifted in here. 2 grams of egg white powder. Now you don't need to use this, but I feel like when we're whipping up the meringue, it helps. So you don't need to use that. And this is probably the biggest thing ever, but 38 grams of water. Now you have to get it precise or it's not going to work. You're going to need 150 grams of sugar. We're going to need some water and a pastry brush for the syrup. 55 grams of egg whites. Now I know this is all weird, but please just do it. So we're going to need 55 grams of egg whites and another 55 grams of egg whites because we're doing them in different stages. We're going to be needing a saucepan. This is just we had this thing. It's like a stove, but like just on here. We have a spoon, a wooden spoon. You really need a thermometer. Now, if you don't have it, I'm sorry, but you have to go and buy it because it's really crucial. A whisk, some orange because I'm making orange, but you can make any color. I made pink over there. A mixing bowl with a whisk, and we're going to also need a paddle. So let's get into it. And also, I'm really sorry that I haven't been uploading because I have school and all things on, but this is a good recipe for you guys. Right off, we're going to get 1 of the 55 grams of egg whites because then we have 2. We're going to get 1 of those. And we're going to get the egg whites and the egg white powder. Plonk that in. It's sticking. And it's funny, my scale doesn't actually measure 2 grams. So I eyed this one, but I know that it works. You know. But now what we're going to do is whisk this up. Now, the reason that I'm not whisking it up on there, because you need to get a little bit of air into the mixture before you actually whisk it with the electric mixer. So I'm just going to whisk this up. So now you've seen that it's nice and foamy. Now what we're going to do is place that on our mixer, and we're going to mix this on low speed. Now we're going to be making our sugar syrup. So in a saucepan, you are going to put in your sugar, caster sugar. That one was icing sugar, this one's caster sugar. This and your 38 grams of water. Has to be grams, not milliliters. Alright, so I haven't used this before, so if the house burns down. Alright, so I think we're just, wait, let me just put this on here. You get it up to notch, I think I'm going to put on notch 2.5. So yeah. This on medium heat until the sugar is all dissolved and it starts to boil. And if you're colouring the shells like I am, when it starts to boil, you add your food colouring. And I would add more that you want now because while it bakes and while you mix everything in it, the colour is going to lighten. So what I'm doing now is, as you can see, there's a little bit of crystal on the outside, and I'm wiping down the edges with water, some cold water, pastry brush, because your macaroons will crystallize and they won't look good. So that's why I'm doing this. Now what I'm doing is, as you can see, it's boiling. So I'm going to be adding my liquid, my gel. I'm going to give it a stir with that orange, and now it's boiling. Now I'm going to put on my mixer to medium. So as you can see. And now what I'm going to do, look at that orange. Alright. My candy thermometer. And I need this mixture to reach 114. Turning it on, I'm bubbling it away to 114, and now I'm just going to give it one last little wobble because I can see a little bit more sugar on the sides. And careful because this is so hot. One bit goes on you. Oh gosh, I've done that before. It's not a good experience. It's 107, 114. Now this has reached 114. Now I'm going to crank up my speed because it was on medium speed. Now I'm going to crank it up. And then I'm going to wait until this is 118 and then I'll show you what we do. Alright, so ready? 117, 118. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is drop this in really slowly. Really slowly. I'm going to pour the sugar syrup in really slow. And I'm not going to scrape down the sides because just don't. Get it all in there. And you really need to whisk this for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to put a timer on for 5 minutes. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to talk really loud because this is still going for 5 minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my almond meal and my icing sugar together. I'm going to get my other 55 grams of egg whites, plonk them in, and I'm going to stir this until it's like a paste. I mix my thing and it's a paste now, and my 5 minutes is up. And it doesn't really matter if you ever do it for longer or anything. Now what I'm going to do is get this. This is so sticky, this mixture, that it's not even funny. Like, look at this. It's like the hardest thing to get out, and it just sticks everywhere. Alright, so I've managed to get this out with the help of my dad. Okay, so now with my paste. Alright, so I've got my mixture of almond in here. And now look, come in here. See, I'm just mixing this up now. Put it forward for you. And then this is the part where you have to stop and see how it is. But if you have any troubles with it, just comment down below and I can step by step tell you what you're doing wrong and stuff like that. So now I'm just scraping. Alright, so now we've got our mixture done, and I've got a piping bag, and my piping bag, it doesn't have a tip because I do not have a round tip. Now if you do have a round tip, use that round tip, but I don't, so I'm just using my piping bag tip. There goes my orange, beautiful macaron mix, and that was it. Really easy. And yeah, so now it's time to pipe out our macaron. So I've got my 3 trays here, and what I'm going to be doing is let's just take that one out. So I've got my 3 trays here, and I'm going to be leaving them on this bench for at least an hour to an hour and a half. An hour, that's 30 minutes to an hour. Because until they're like shiny on top, and when you touch them, it's not wet, so it's like tacky. And then we're going to start preheating our oven and putting it in Ganache. Alright, so my macaroons are they're like settling down. And now what I'm going to be doing is making my chocolate ganache. Now you can make white chocolate ganache, or you can make buttercream, or really anything, but I really like chocolate ganache. With this chocolate ganache, you're going to need a 1/4 cup of cream, which I'm just putting into my saucepan, and it would be over the heat. And by the way, add a little less cream than a 1/4 cup, because when you're adding this orange blossom, it does have water in it, so it will make it more liquidy, so a little less cream. Alright, that's in there. Now we're going to turn on the heat. So you want your cream to come to a simmer, and while that's happening, I'll just go through the ingredients. You're going to be needing 125 grams of dark or milk chocolate. I'm using milk. I don't like dark, so I don't really use dark in much of my recipes. I've got orange blossom water now, because I wanted to have a little orange flavour, because it's orange macaroons. So this doesn't give that much of an orange flavour, but it gives a hint. So I'm using, I don't know how much of that, maybe a tablespoon. And alright, so I'm going to add about a cupful of this orange blossom thing, orange blossom water for now, and I'm going to taste it and just keep going. But as you can see, if you come in, my cream is giving a skin. I think that is okay to start. Alright, so now I'm going to be turning off the heat. Actually, I'll add my thing first. Add my chocolate, turning off my heat. See how that? I'm turning off the heat. I'm adding in that chocolate, and I'm just going to make sure that all my chocolate is getting a little bit of cream in there. You can already smell that orange blossom, yummy. Alright, so I just give it a shake. Now I'm going to place that over the top and let this melt for about 3 minutes, and I'll check on it. Alright, so I've let this do its thing. So I'm just going to flip that upside down so the thing. And now, look at that. Oh, look at that. This is going to turn into chocolate ganache. Now, what you need to do actually is just to give it a stir. And it's not going to look like it's chocolate ganache. But keep stirring, and it will be this luscious, yummy, smelling amazing chocolate ganache. And you can always add more orange blossom if you would like. Or if you don't even have orange blossom, who cares? If you have orange extract, that's good. If you don't even have orange extract, do something else. Do another colour, do something else. Alright, ganache is done, and I found a tip that when you make your ganache and you add orange blossom, it becomes like watery. So, because this is so watery and we do not want that, what I'm going to be doing is placing plastic wrap over it, and I should actually show you right now. I'll it has to touch, if you come, look, see it's really watery here, but it has to touch the plastic wrap, has to touch the thing, and I'm just going to fold over the sides, and I'm going to put this in the fridge for overnight, and I will show you guys how to make the macarons, and then I'll see you tomorrow. See, what I've done is I've just put my 3 macaron trays into the oven. So we have to leave it on the bench for 45 minutes until it has a skin, and then when it's 15 minutes while it's on the bench, you turn your oven on to 150, and then when the 45 minutes is up, you turn it down to 135. Then you cook it like that, and for 15 minutes, we've just got our timer on, for 15 minutes, and then you take it out. And if it sticks on the baking paper, what you have to do is you have to put it back in for another minute because it's not cooked enough. If you can take it out without anything sticking, it's cooked. Now I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, now it's the next day, and my ganache, I let it chill overnight, and these macarons came out so pretty. They might not be the same shape, but they have their, if you come in to look, they have their really nice foot there. It's so good, alright? So, now, before I put the ganache in the middle, we have to match them up to get them. So I've done a few here, and I found the tip when I went to my class, is that you don't, well you can if you want, but you don't look at your macarons from the top. You actually flip them around from the bottom if you see that they both look like the same, and that fits perfectly. So always look for the bottom and see which one goes together. So I'm just going to be sorting these out. So this isn't all the macarons, but I've got 3/4 of the macarons here, and I've just piled them up like that. Now what I'm going to be doing is I got my ganache out of the fridge. This is our beautiful orange blossom ganache. Take the little plastic wrap, and you have to remember to touch the ganache, the plastic wrap, or it will form a skin. So here's a ganache. Oh, it's yummy. And I've just got a cup here, and it's holding a piping bag. And this piping bag isn't as big as the other piping bag, but it's a good. And I don't have any tip on the bottom. I'm just doing it from the tip of the thing. Ganache in my piping bag. It's 10 inch. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing is just filling in the shells. And I've just matched all of them up. So I'm going to be doing a little blob. Finish having a little bit of ganache. Alright, so I've got my little blob of ganache, and now what I'm going to do is get the other half of your macaroon and I'm going to squidge it on there. And that is what a little macaroon looks like. Alright, there's my beautiful macaroons. I really hope, oh I'm so scared I'm going to drop them. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that if you make this, it's going to work every time. I'm just going to have one to show you guys. Yum. Yum. I had some of the macaroon shells before. Really nice. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below anything you need. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learn how to make macaroons, and I hope it works for you guys. And I'll see you next video. Alright, hey guys. So I've got my pastry brush and my water, and I had a lot of macaroon mixture on me. So this is how you take it off. You get some water and you just clean it off ever so slightly, and then it'll come off. This is a very good tip, but you do get messy. As you can see, there is water dripping all over my beautiful macaroon top. So just kind of dabbing it on. It's all actually getting nice and clean. And that is how you clean off macaroon mixture from your face. Hope you enjoyed. I'm not ready. Okay. I'm ready. Ready?
Shut up. What do you have to
Alright, so what... Dad! And I need this mixture to reach 114.